So I wanted to give you a reference for sound. We're going to do a couple things in this video. I am playing through a EVH lunchbox so you can compare it with the PV5152. I don't like comparing things side by side, like this is better than this, because they're not. Everything has pros and everything has cons. The EVH lunchbox is a beast, and like I said, it's close, but doesn't sound quite as good in the overdrive. But this has a better clean, and it's lightweight, and there's no heat, where the 5150 burns. If I do a Van Halen kind of riff and roll it sounds great. So the lick I just showed, I'm going to show you some licks in the secret sauce of the Satriani guys and the Metallica and Megadeth. I'm going to show you a writing trick, and it's going to improve your soloing, which is crazy. So that lick, I'm going to show you how I take a lick going into the noodling thing, how I took a simple pattern and I change it all around and make it sound cool from beginner to advanced. So here's that lick. It's off the A, open, 5 and 7, and then the third string on 5. That's the pattern. Dot to dot to dot to dot. Then I slide it down to the third, on the third string down to the fifth fret, and I do that same pattern. Open, 5 and 7 and 1. Now here you're gonna have to pass this dot up to the next one. Okay. Now, you can play it slow. However you want to play this. You can play with a pinch harmonic. You can play it skipping every other one. Call the guitar police, I messed up. Play with the slide. What's wrong with you? Bluesy? You can alternate it every time on every play. All kinds of ways. You can do it all the way across this way. You can do it on use a pattern from on all the songs. You can use it that crisscross. there's so many ways that you can take this one pattern and make all of these sounds. So I use it in bursts. And what I mean by that is even one time. It's a great lick to move around, and it's a great sounding lick, a standalone lick. But this is to show you my noodling and what I do with one lick. And that's why I move it from position to position and skip positions and everything else with it. The other thing is the secret sauce. But we're going to get into that next. Let me show you one other lick that I was asked to show. It's kind of hard to show because it was incorporated in some tapping. Now the tapping is, we'll get into maybe in the next video, but maybe I'll show you part of it. This lick is based off of the Eddie Van Halen. I'm going to have to pan you down. I hope I got shorts on, pants. If you look at your guitar, you can gauge it by a finger in front of the humbucker. Now I bounce the finger and move it around. And I play that scale. I do that all over the neck. I know it's a little weird. Michael Romero is one of my favorite metal guitar players. He did something similar to that a long time ago, and I started that. He didn't do it scalier, he just did it in different positions. So I took his lick and added to it. Now the tapping part goes into part of this. We'll leave the tapping for later because it is kind of hard. Now the secret sauce. I talk about triads all the time. G major triad. And if you make a G chord, that's a G. On what string? D. What's the triad got in it? A D. G on a D string. Getting a little interesting. And then I also got a D string over it and a B string over it. When I play this chord G this way, Satriani, Vi. Let's hear one more part. That's the triad there. Stop in the G here. That's how you figure out what this goes over. The triad would go over a G chord. So keep that in mind. And I'm going to explain some of this in a second. But let's say I'm playing that's an E minor chord, which is relative. Now I get the B here. What's that? That's a power chord of the E minor. That's a power That's the same chord, just different pitches. So here's the other part of this. Bonamassa. And on a B. There's a B. Into a G chord. Oh, so I'm writing riffs in songs around triad. Secret sauce. Why hasn't any guitar player that I've seen on YouTube actually teach this kind of theory and how that you can create songs like Satriani very melodical? Even Andy Woods doesn't do it that melodic. And I don't know why, because he's a master at theory. This is what they do in the recording studios. This is the best of the best. The Dan Huff, the Mike Slammer, who's an amazing studio guitar player. This is the secret sauce. Satriani, Vi. Now I asked you guys about, and this is going into these chords, and something else. Metallica, and all these guys. What have I been telling you guys to do in the G major? Patterns. You can play patterns with chords? Absolutely. Oh no, call the police. Musical magic, I call that. The secret sauce. The shit Tim Pierce ain't gonna show you. The shit Rick Beato doesn't show you. The shit that Paul Gilbert doesn't show you. The shit that David Gilmour doesn't show you. They don't want you to know. Why? They knew the trick. If they teach the trick, everybody will be writing incredible songs. And guitar players and singers and guys in bands are egomaniacs. No offense to you guys. I've dealt with hundreds of egomaniacs in my lifetime. Even on this channel. But they don't play like that. They know it now because I'm going to put it out there. So now they have privy information to it, and if they're more advanced, they're going to start doing it, and they won't give me credit. They don't give a shit. You've seen this before, and like Tennis Nut said, he said, I think Rick Beato's he did a video a couple days ago on Moe's. I think he's watching your videos. It's possible because his team knows who I am. He won't answer me in emails or anything. I've tried to get on his channel to debunk a lot of the stuff that was said in there by Rhett Scholl. But again, these guys, and it's just not fair to you guys because no one's going to show this to you. It's like the noodling thing. Now you can see a lick I use from noodling and how I noodled the lick to death. One lick with a bunch of different licks. draw chords. Using that lick over and over again. I'm not ashamed of it. No. Fooled a lot of people for years. I'm just good at taking a lick and just beating it, hammer it to death until I know what I'm going to do with it. And then it becomes second nature. Like I was talking to my student who's like actually a friend. He called me, he bought a TSL today. We were talking about the show. He's like, can you show the harmonic lick that you were doing off the tapping, off the... So I hammer a lot of... double stop. I do like a lot of weird hammering, but the thing he was talking about is the double stops. So I was hammering chords. And then in that, I was throwing in it's a long thing that I've done for years in the solo. I did it on the second night, but that part I threw in the Quiet Riot thing at the end. They asked us to draw the song out for time for some reason, and I just started soloing at the end of it. And that was some of the stuff I was asked. Now, I'll do a second video on it with the harder licks. I'll show you all the tapping patterns that I did. I'll just show you the pattern, that way you can have fun with them. Like, it's kind of like taking a lick like this. And then taking your finger, that pattern here. So you're doing this. I'll show you guys all that. That was another thing on the double tapping when I'm tapping. I was moving chords around as I was tapping. It's stuff that I've been doing a long time. A lot of this stuff doesn't come to me until I'm playing live, and then I just kind of let go and forget everything I do, and then I start doing some of the crazy stuff. I was playing scales this way. I was running stuff up this way too. And then moving the chords this way. Because there's chords here too. But then I would hit the... I'll show you more of that. I hope this video Enjoy your weekend.